Hi, I'm Sean Morrison, and I'm running to be your state representative in District 90. But I wanted to share something with you. I get a lot of these questionnaires from different organizations since I started running for office. And so I got one today from the National Rifle Association of America, which I thought would be very interesting to share with you as I open it. I haven't even looked at this yet, so let's take a look at what kind of questions they have on their questionnaire to ultimately decide who they endorse. Got a mailback envelope. Dear Louisiana candidate, blah, blah, blah. Questionnaire for your response. They will be used to determine the candidate's NRA PVF, that's Political Victory Fund, ratings, which will be communicated to NRA members. If you do not return a questionnaire, you may be assigned a question mark rating, which will be interpreted by our membership as indifference, if not outright hostility, towards Second Amendment related issues. That's very interesting. If you do not answer the NRA's questionnaire, they consider it to be hostile to the Constitution of the United States. That's how powerful they think they are. Please return blah blah blah. Should we add any additional restrictive state legislation regulating sale, use, or possession of firearms or ammunition? Well, if they mean we can't have any new laws protecting people, then that seems kind of crazy, doesn't it? They want all firearms to be legal, regardless of what type they are. They're definitely in favor of assault weapons. They don't like assault weapons bans. They want people to be able to buy an AK-47 or an AR-15 at the store. That makes sense. It sounds like they don't want people to have to get a license to buy a gun. Yeah, they want to get rid of licenses. You won't need a license to buy a gun anymore, according to this. That is wild, isn't it? And they don't want a state database of who owns guns, because otherwise you may be able to figure out who owned a firearm during a crime. It seems that they are against universal background checks. That's very interesting. This is very interesting. So currently there are rules that say that you cannot bring guns into the courthouse, into a poll, an election poll. Anywhere where government meetings are taking place, bring them to churches or parades. The NRA says you should bring guns to all of those things. Can you just imagine if people were bringing guns to their court case? Can you imagine if a team of armed folks came to a polling place? How intimidating that would be? Can you imagine everyone on the parade route at Mardi Gras being armed? See, this is the thing that gets me the most. So they're clearly in favor of what they call a preemption law. And that's where the people in Baton Rouge get to make the rules that apply to the whole state, right? And a lot of times that makes sense. But a lot of times it doesn't. Because the issues that people have at the city or the parish level are very different from place to place. This idea that we need a one-size-fits-all policy, I think, is part of the problem and why we have such a hard time when we talk about a gun debate. Because what's right for New Orleans is not necessarily right for Slidell or Pearl River. We should have more local control, not less. I don't know why the NRA thinks that taking local control is a bad thing. Look, I understand Second Amendment rights. I am not anti-gun. I think we should have reasonable measures to protect people. And I think those measures should be determined by local law enforcement, not the people up in Baton Rouge, and certainly not by the national NRA. Let's face it, the NRA is no longer about protecting Second Amendment rights. Their only job now is to sell guns. They work for the gun manufacturing industries, not you, and not any other gun owner. They only represent gun sellers. If you like the NRA and special interest groups controlling how people vote in Baton Rouge, you're going to have plenty of options this election. But if you want to change the conversation, get special interests out of our politics, get money out of our politics, and start putting Louisiana back to work for you, then vote for me on November 6th. Send me to Baton Rouge to get the NRA and other big money out of our politics.